Highrook Estate, an aristocratic area of cold rock and rain, a melancholy shadow overlooking the port at Black Sands. At the summit of its grey cliffs lies the crumbling edifice of Acheron House. On a dark and stormy night, 4 intrepid adventurers enter the estate of the noble Acheron family, each sent by their respective guild of mechanists, plague doctors, scholars, and the rather harshly named, in my opinion, thugs. We are tasked with solving the disappearances of the residents of Highrook, parents, children, and staff alike, delve into the archives of the mansion library, venture into the depths below the cellar, and recite the rituals to discover the truth of what has happened here, all while keeping your patchwork party healthy, awake, and sane. The horror at Highrook hooked its eldritch tentacles around me with its Steam Next Fest demo, made primarily by one person. Nullpointer Games is Tom Betts. Former lead programmer at Big Robot, Betts worked on multiple titles, all to mixed response. Now on his own, Betts develops at Nullpointer with others working on marketing, QA, and PR. As both an artist and a coder, he designed, coded, wrote, and produced almost all the art for this beautiful project, with support from Jonathan Pilcher for the music and outsourced background art. The Acheron family. Once respected by the city elite, the Acheron family fell from grace to become the subject of snide remarks and scornful whispers. Lord Acheron was a prominent book collector whose increasing interest in the occult saw him driven from respected academic practice. It is rumored he turned to the Seeker's Communion for support shortly before his family's enigmatic disappearance. Inspired by the works of Lovecraft, Poe, and Stoker, the Gothic world will be familiar to all who are familiar with the annals of horror history. Its grand grounds beautifully laid out in front of you for you to experience its mysteries. Gameplay in Highrook takes place on a board game-like map with characters and items represented as cards, taking up slots in each room. As you progress, characters undertake tasks, use ability modifiers, and unlock further rooms to use. Each of these actions makes use of different types of cards. Some tasks are single-use, like eating a meal, and others are repeatable, like searching the archives. Each character has their own set of skills, allowing them to complete tasks in certain rooms without additional items, and these skills can be leveled up when you unlock the school later on, allowing you to complete more difficult tasks. Along with the consumables, you obtain specific items which are permanent skill upgrades that can be used in their related rooms, for example a cooking pot for the kitchen. Sometimes the timed tasks can be unforgivably tight, but as you can attempt them again, this does not feel too punishing, unless you have particularly bad luck with the items when searching for them. Sometimes I just could not get that catalytic powder. The Seeker's Communion is a secretive organization of mystics, seers, and exiled scholars. This clandestine group supports occult practices across the city and facilitates a black market for arcane goods. Officially banned by Black Sands Council, the collective continues its work in the shadows. Adding to your overall experience is the very well done atmosphere through audio and striking visual art that did put me into a state of mind akin to a solo woodland walk in gloomy weather, isolating and eerie with every creak of wood and crow's caw. But it was bewitching to be so enmeshed in it all. It's a very difficult game to find a point to stop and release yourself back to reality, especially when the game's mysteries have such a truly tantalizing nature that you'll nearly always feel on the edge of discovery. After Chapter 1, you'll fall in love with Mr. Tubbs until he's right on the wrong tile. I swear sometimes that cat is worse than the enemy cards. My initial impression upon playing the demo was that we would be discovering and experiencing a range of stories with multiple runs playing out differently and revealing different things. This isn't the case in the final title, however, as it is one straightforward narrative with fixed solutions. Each of our colourful cast of characters has their own side story to be discovered. Vitali's dreams, Caligari's body parts, Attica's weapons, and Astor, well, I'll leave her part more mysterious. With each character's side story being very straightforward to complete through regular play, there is very little in the way of replayability. In fact, unless I missed something, there is only one real choice in the whole game, other than just choosing not to follow the optional character quests. While this is a shame, progressing through the story is doubtlessly going to offer a somewhat unique experience to every player, and nestles a well-wrought illusion of crafting a more personal way to unraveling the mysteries at Highrook. The characters are wonderful. I have nothing but praise for the comfortable, easy way the guild members form a merry band of multifaceted personalities without ever feeling tokenistic. As you progress your characters, make notes for you to read where they comment on the personalities of each other, their suspicions and motivations. It helps you feel more attached to the characters, who otherwise are simply cards on your board outside of the occasional cutscene. I managed to complete the game in around 7 hours from start to finish, although I'm unsure on the length a full playthrough should take, because my initial playthrough was soft-locked 4 hours in. I was enjoying the game so much I of course had to start over and plow through, however, I already knew the solutions, so it was very quick to return to my point in Chapter 5. I say it was soft locked. It is very possible I missed something. However, I spent a further half hour trying all the combinations of tasks and items I had at my disposal and could not find a way to level up my character to take on the progression tasks. Was this on me for using the study resources inefficiently? Sure. Does this highlight a possible oversight by the devs for people's stupidity? Absolutely. There were no other sections of the game where I felt I was able to use up items I needed for progression and not be able to eventually get them back. Even though sometimes it did take a roundabout sequence of events if I used something I needed with time sensitivity. The vanishing of a noble house, however disfavored, cannot go unexamined by the council. The Black Sands Mayor, Lord Alliston, has commissioned a cross-guild team to investigate. A dilapidated stagecoach deposits the party at Highrook. The rain echoes eerily through the empty halls. The horror at Highrook isn't a perfect game, but if you're a fan of gothic horror, there is so much love and attention given to it that you're sure to get a lot out of its short playtime. I'd like to see the game expanded upon with more roots and mysteries. However, for such a small indie studio, it's an incredibly high quality and an achievement in itself. If you're looking for an interesting story to explore in a fun, easy-to-manage card game, then I recommend you don your favorite trench coat and venture into this deliciously dark adventure yourself.